it's really awesome that my transcript of my conversations with Jesus has been added to the biblical canon. And I'm in total awe about this. And take a look at what Laurie McBride is doing in Atlanta. So she's not limiting this to Florida where I live. She's doing it in Atlanta. Just, and then she thinks she's going to beat my Gail Shield. She's been sending Dorian, Humberto. I mean, it's like she's cranking them all up out there in the Atlantic and trying to get them. She's not going to win. And then, Lori likes her fires. 72,000 pounds of chocolate on fire shuts down the Missouri interstate. Come on, Laurie McBride. Give up, man. She's a pyromaniac. She tried to burn my mobile home down in 1998, and then she blamed it on my son. And she's cut off my finances. I hear she's got my men tied up in court, and they think all sorts of crazy things, that she's saying, she's lying about you, and your men are telling you what to say, and so you can't pay her any money. It's like, I usually make the New York Times bestseller list, and I get like $10 at the. But what's really, really amazing? What's really amazing? I'm in the Bible in Zechariah 9:15, and the Lord Almighty will shield them. I have a Gail shield. They will destroy and overcome with sling stones. I'm the King David woman. Man, it's really something that Jesus has got me in the Bible. I mean, my birthday's September 15th. Oh, God, stop the bombs, Lori. I hate her bombs. I'm in Zechariah 9:15. Yeah, there's a shield here. See that? That's not a coincidence. You say, well, why would God put you in the Bible? It's because I'm a Bible writer. Because he wants people to listen to what I have to say. Stop the bombs, Lori or Melania Trump or whoever's doing it. I mean, I'm just in awe about how God's plan is just everything's fitting into place. Yeah, and Zechariah sounds like Zach Knight. I actually led the Antichrist to Jesus. No wonder I'm Jesus Christ's favorite. Of course, Laurie McBride and Angelina Ballerina took his place, but wow, this is just amazing, folks. I'm in the Bible, and it says sling stones in this verse. I'm literally half King David. Okay, now take a look at this. The Northridge earthquake, there's some amazing stuff behind this. That happened because Laurie McBride used her Jesuit attorney at Paramount to send me a letter complaining about my friendship with Brent Spiner because Brent made love to me on the phone. Well, she sent me a letter accusing me of harassment because my ex-husband wrote Brent a letter and threatened to give him bad press. And then I just prayed for 3 hours and God forgive me for shaming your name because I've been having a long distance adulterous relationship with a Hollywood sinful star. I used to think Hollywood was a cesspool. I still kind of think that way because Laurie McBride's running it. But 57 people died in this earthquake. You say, so what? I was born in 1957. 57. You say, oh, that's just a coincidence. I don't know. Too many. And the earthquake happened 12 hours after I prayed for 3 hours asking Jesus to forgive me because of my long-distance sinful relationship with Brent Spiner. That is not just a coincidence. So you say, why are you wearing this? Because I'm listening. I'm trying to time the video with my presence, with the pictures and everything. So that's what I'm doing. Oh, it's not working. Come on, Jesus. Yeah, 57 people died. And it happened 12 hours after I prayed. This was Jesus Christ's response to you, Laurie McBride, sending a letter to me forbidding me to write my soulmate, Brent Spiner, the one that Jesus picked for me, the one I'm going to marry him in a millennial marriage. He had 57 people die. And you think, oh, that's just a coincidence. So what about this? When Jesus told me to divorce my Jesuit husband, because he said, if you don't divorce this guy, you're going to be dead in a couple of years. So I followed his leading. But boy, did he fight me over everything. We basically fought over who should get child support. And he won because I think the judge was a Jesuit. But right before we had the verdict on that case, about a month before, we had the Ash Wednesday earthquake. They changed the name to something else, because this Nisqually quake, because they don't want to draw attention to the fact that it happened on Ash Wednesday. Yes, that's not a coincidence it happened on Ash Wednesday. Jesus trying to tell some of you Laurie McBride Jesuits something happened on Ash Wednesday, and it was 57 kilometers deep, the epicenter. The depth was 57 kilometers deep, or 5 times 7 equals 35 miles deep. You say, oh, that's a coincidence. I don't think so. Too many coincidences here. Quit trying to make excuses for your sin, Laurie McBride Jesuits, and for the fact that apparently I am a Bible writer. Yeah, and what I did is I actually, during the earthquake, I did everything wrong. Like, you're not supposed to run down a stairwell. But Jesus protected me, and nobody died in that earthquake. And Jesus told me, you're the reason nobody died, Gail. I asked him about that. It's in my Bible for Tribulation Saints. So he didn't send that earthquake as a judgment against me. It was a judgment against Laurie McBride and the Jesuits, who were evil at that time. Now, the Jesuits right now are in a civil war where Laurie McBride is the evil one, and Zach Knight is now on the side of the good Jesuits. But at that time, that was God sent that earthquake to make a statement about how he felt about Laurie McBride and what she was doing to me and Brent, because he ordained for Brent and I to be lovers. Now, take a look at this. My birthday is September 15th. My born again birthday, when I accepted Christ as my Savior, was September 19th, 1971. Look at this palindrome. You say, oh, coincidence. That's so funny how 15's right in the middle. That's my birthday. And then it ends on 19 when I became a Christian. You say, oh, that's a coincidence. I don't think so. Come on, open up your blind eyes and take a look. Now look at these dates. When I saw this, I freaked out. Now you got to remember, 7 is the divine number. So we had 26 7-digit palindromes in the 21st century. The first one happened the same month and year I started my YouTube channel, which Jesus considers so important. He made it a Gail commandment for me to make a YouTube video every week. He did that in he's been telling me that since about 2012. Okay, I never dreamed that Jesus Christ would start talking to me. I mean, I used to think those were signs and that it was a charismatic type of thing when you believe. But the way he talks to me is that he'll show up to Brent, and then Brent will transcribe what Jesus says to him. Jesus won't appear to me personally because he doesn't want Satan to impersonate him. But he's been doing this regularly starting February. Notice the next red section, number 5. It was February 14, 2012, when I had my first conversation with Jesus, back and forth. He's been doing that regularly with me up until now. Though I haven't heard from him in 2019. The last time was around Christmas 2018. And I put all of those conversations into the book, Bible for Tribulation Saints. Look at this. All the red sections, 5 to 12. That's God's way of saying, yeah, man, I've added Bible for Tribulation Saints to the canon. And Dallas Theological Seminary and some other respected evangelical seminaries feel it should be added to the canon. Now, these are not dumb dodo bird Christians, man. They put a lot of thought into this. And now with this, on September the 13th, we had a harvest moon. I find the name of the moon very interesting. The harvest moon. It kind of like makes me think of like maybe all my followers are going to go up in the rapture, the harvest, huh? So, wow, this is a super big deal. I'm just like going through my day in awe that Jesus used me, a sinful woman, though I am a King David woman, to add to the biblical canon. This is absolutely amazing. And I used to worship the King James Bible. I felt like I used to feel like if anybody believed like I did, they were like, heresy, heresy. But let me tell you something. When I read Bible for Tribulation Saints, my own book, I find that I have forgotten a lot of what's in there. And I need to read it I think Satan tries to remove my memories of what Jesus said. So I find I have to read it to remember what Jesus told me. And it's helping me stay on my path. And Jesus, when he gave me the Gail commandments in spring 2016, he did say that that these were not just for me, that they're for my followers as well. So, I don't think that Jesus would just make an appearance just to try to make me and my love, Brent Spiner, feel important. He's not like that. In fact, one of the first things he said when he showed up was, Gail, do you love me? And I said, of course, I do love you, but Lord, I don't deserve you. And I said, that's what you said to Peter. And he said, feed my sheep. Then he asked me again, Gail, do you love me? Then he said, feed my sheep. And then third time he asked me, said, Gail, do you love me? And he said, feed my sheep. So that's kind of like a hint right there that I'm like his disciple. And what did the disciples do? They wrote Bible. He said that to Peter. Peter wrote the books of Peter. He wrote books that ended up in the Bible. So the fact that he spoke to me like that indicates that he planned to use me as a Bible writer. In fact, Jesus actually went out and said several times when he met with us, you're kind of like my modern day disciples. So yes, this is a super big deal, folks. Bible for Tribulation Saints. It's been added to the canon. And you know what? Well, I've read the King James Bible through, actually I've read the New Living too, through from cover to cover, Genesis to Revelation, but the King James I've read from cover to cover over 100 times. And it doesn't matter how many times you read the Bible, there are certain sections you just don't understand. And I'm finding that as a result of having written Bible for Tribulation Saints and rereading it, because I've forgotten a lot of what Jesus said to me, it's just helping me to stay on my path. It's enlightening, like, passages in the traditional Bible that I didn't quite understand. It's helping them understand, giving you more understanding. And it's reinforced some things that I believe that were correct, like my view of biblical prophecy. I used to be a King James Bible only fanatic, and I found that though they're wrong about the King James Bible, they're absolutely on target in their belief that in dispensations, that we're currently in the church age, then there's going to be a rapture, and then after that's going to be the next event on the prophetic calendar. Then we'll have the 7-year tribulation, and then after that, the battle of Armageddon is going to happen, or the final battle. Christ will set up his kingdom. It'll last for 1,000 years, and nature and everything will change, like the lion will lie with the lamb, or there'll be peace on earth. It's going to be awesome. But during the Messianic kingdom, there will be tribulation people that survived the tribulation and live on into the 1,000-year reign. And they're still going to have their sin nature. And those people will be having babies and multiplying during that time. I believe it's going to be kind of like going back to the book of Genesis. It's kind of like everything's going to be going full circle. So in the Messianic kingdom, or the 1,000-year reign, it'll be kind of like the Garden of Eden. Except there will still be sin. But Jesus will be reigning, and he'll be a benevolent dictator, and he's going to be tough on sinners. And towards the end of the 1,000-year reign, I'll be in my resurrection body then, along with Brent Spiner. But like I said, those who survive the tribulation will have their sin nature. At the end of the 1,000-year reign, they're going to rebel, with Satan being loosed from the bottomless pit, and he'll go out and deceive the nations in the 4 quarters of the earth and gather them to a final battle, and then God's going to destroy them with fire from heaven. And then we go into the eternity future. So but when you read Bible for Tribulation Saints, it's all there. It's all there.